A new AD carry. Kalista, Spirit of Vengeance. Here we go. Very pretty. Wonderful. I have a few problems with it, actually. So, at the moment, the current AD carry trinity, as I perceive it, is Jinx, Corki, and then either Vayne or Lucian, depending on who you like more. Kalista's a new AD carry, designed by Riot. How best to explain this? I think I could do it by going through what each of these AD carries offer, and then saying what Kalista offers, and what I think of the new champion. So, Jinx has powerful attack speed steroid, long-ass range with AoE, potent utility damage lockdown abilities that allow her to participate in teamfights even when she's zoned out, and one hell of an ultimate, which is Super Mega Death Rocket, which is the be-all and end-all fight finisher. It's beautiful, I love it. An AoE execute, that's global. Oh boy. Corki brings good mobility and safeness. He's got poke to end all poke. He's a competent duelist with DPS, armor shred, Sheen procs, damage, and an escape if he needs it, as well as burst abilities. Oh, and true damage. And then Vayne, who very obviously brings true damage, tank shredding, amazing personal utility and safety, whereby she can pretty much 1v1, 2v1, 3v1 anybody, given you're fed enough. And she's very hard to kill alone. Unless you were some super fed assassin like a Talon, I guess, but even then it's difficult. Or Lucian, who brings overwhelming burst and mobility to the table, as well as, again, a way to contribute to fights when he's zoned, and relatively safe laning. What does Kalista bring to the table? Well, looking at her kit, I can tell you. She can ward? I'm gonna switch to what you can see on my screen now. So here we go. Abilities. Items. She starts off with the Black Spear. Now, one problem with this is if you never use it, you've denied an item slot. If you do use it and that person goes AFK, it's fucking worthless and she no longer has an ultimate. And 3, you can't swap who you offer it to during the game, so whoever you offer it to is stuck with it. Which is not always great. Abilities. Martial Poise. So her kiting is good. Excellent, excellent. She hops around. She hops around like a Lee Sin on steroids. And throws spears like a Nidalee on steroids. She can hop while doing it. Excellent. This probably my hang on, I need I need the webcam for this one. Favorite ability. Oh look, I can ward. Support, don't buy a sight stone, I got this. No, passively, however, you get bonus damage when you and your soulbound attack the same target, which is decent. And yeah, wards that chase enemies, oh. It depends on the numbers, really. Finally, E. Oh, she can pop targets like a Twitch on steroids, right. Only she doesn't have any steroids. The good part here is that you'll see here, slowing them and dealing increased damage for each spear rent from this target, the spears stack infinitely. So, the longer you attack one target, the more guaranteed they are to die. Instantly. Depending on what I presume will be magic resist. And finally, probably the most hilarious and ultimately bad part of her kit is Fate's Call. Let's watch. Alright, support's off the map. And boom, you can throw your support at things. Yay! Best troll ult. Oh wait, You can't throw them, they choose which way to go. So, remind me, what support... Hang on, I need the webcam again for this. I want my reaction to be writ large in lights. What support wants to be thrown at the enemy that can't already throw themselves at the enemy or initiate from range? I'm thinking Leona and Thresh here. Leona, oh, I can dash to them or just let Kalista throw me. Okay. It's pretty meh. Thresh, please don't throw me. I need that range to land a hook. God damn it, Kalista, why? I can see this working with Braum. I can see this working with unconventional supports that don't have initiation. Struggle to think of one. But basically it's rather an underwhelming kit, apart from Rend, which has the infinite stack. Sort of like a Vayne on steroids. Now that we've compared Kalista to the holy trinity of good AD carries, how about the utility AD carries? I did notice that somebody said she was meant to be a utility AD carry. Well, let's take a look at her utility. 1. Black Spear. I can link with my support. Me and my support and I deal extra damage. Hurrah. I can kite like a beast. So that's Ashe. It's comparable to Ashe. Kite like a beast. I've got Great Poke. That's similar to Ezreal. Like Varus, I can shred a target with Rend, because he's got his max health thing for stacking hits on a target. She's got wards. It's comparable to Quinn and Ashe. Her ultimate is fairly underwhelming compared to, let's say, Ashe, Varus, who both have an ult that can lock up multiple targets. Yeah. She pokes like Varus, she kites like Ashe, she kites like Vayne, and she stings like an automatic stinging machine. So that's fairly good, comparable to other utility carries. What I do think will happen is that instead of picking Kalista as opposed to other hyper carries or, you know, safe pick carries or the holy trinity of carries or any carries at all, really, is support. I think Kalista will be played as a support. As a support, Kalista works pretty well. I'm thinking like you could almost compare it to Nidalee support, in that it's a safe poke and stay out of range. So Martial Poise, her passive, which lets her hop around when she basic attacks, lets you harass and then get out of range because you jump further when you leap away from something. Her Q, Pierce, lets her throw spears. That's good poke. Her W lets her not buy a Sight Stone and just ward shit with Sentinels. And more importantly, when she starts a fight in bot lane, because your carry is generally just going to be farming, when she starts the fight in bot lane, she puts the soul mark on the enemy, and her AD carry gets extra damage. Think about that with Lucian, who procs on hit effects twice with Lightslinger. A couple of Lightslinger procs with this, and boom, people are going to die. And you don't need to build damage to do that. At all. Rend, you don't need to build damage for this, because the more spears you get on someone, the more damage it deals, regardless. And it slows, so, you know, there's better kiting for you. And Fate's Call. Here's where Fate's Call would actually be useful. So you've bonded your AD carry. Let's say your AD carry gets Blitzcrank hooked. Boom! Now they're untargetable, brought back to you, and can choose to dash away or dash back into the fight. That's actually useful. That's why I think Kalista will be played as an AD carry. You can start with a Frostfang, harass like a bitch, get an Embarrass Blade for extra gold generation, later turn it into a Static Shiv, and become a secondary marksman. Or maybe like a auto-attack based fighter. I'm thinking... I can't think of anyone who would not be a tank and still do this, but deal the same amount of damage. Like, you could say Fiora, but she's going to deal way more damage. Because she'll, you know, have gold. Anyway, I think Kalista will be played as a support. That's my 2 cents. Overall, I kinda think Riot screwed the pooch here. I mean, she's a great champion. She's unique as all hell. I love that passive. Her warding thing is hilarious. And the troll ult you can do with Fate's Call are great, but same thing with Azir and Vel'Koz. I think people are just gonna defile her in the role she's meant to be played as and play her as a support, which doesn't make me happy at all. In any way. I do like her infinite stacking spears mechanic, because with that fucking passive, you can hop after someone like a murderous Easter Bunny and just throw spears until the cows come home. And if the stacks are about to wear off, you can land a Q and keep them going and just infinite damage. It's great. I love it. So, I mean, there's her utility as a carry. You've got that chance to insta-kill or deal a lot of damage, and that mad kiting and the ability to recall your support from dangerous situations to help you, and wards for your lane, and bonus magic damage with synchronized attacks, and decent poke. So she's not going to be a bad AD carry, and I don't think I said that at any point. I don't think she's going to outclass the current Holy Trinity, which means she probably won't see play in the LCS, unless she turns out to be a lot better at dueling these people than I thought. And with her basic attack animation, which is not great, and her base attack speed, which is apparently not great, and her stats, which will probably only be either comparable to other carries or worse, because she has all these compensating mechanics, i.e. Thresh, Scion, Azir. I don't know for sure. I can't say for sure because I haven't seen it in play. I haven't played it myself, but that's just my thoughts on the new champion. Thank you for watching. As a bonus segment, for anyone who's seen this champion concept on screen now, Strix, the Lament of Souls, is a Shadow Isles AD carry concept. You can rejoice because your champion just got put in the game. Let's check it out. Passive Ghost Lights. You can summon wards. Q, Ghost March. This is Kalista's E. All Ghost Lights applied to enemies, i.e. spears, get pulled in and deal damage. The more Ghost Lights pulled in, the more damage it deals. Soul Strike. Passive, Strix, gains armor penetration against marked targets. It's similar. E, Fear the Reaper. Poke Attack, which applies passive. That's Q and E, right there. And then Path of the Dead, Strix channels, and then slingshots an ally forward. That's the ult, that's Fate's Call. For anyone who's interested, this is Strix. Those are not arms, those are owls. As you can see here, when the owls attach. And they were even kind enough to drop GIFs of the champion in action. There's the auto attack, there's the Ghost Light. Ghost March. This is the Q, this is the E of Kalista. Bam, damage. This is Kalista's Q. With less cone and more spear. And this is Kalista's ultimate, Fate's Call. That lets you slingshot an ally forward. There it goes. Boom. See? Fate's Call. Also, Strix, his personality is quite similar. So, there you go. Ansalan, your champion is in League of Legends. Congratulations. I actually feel really happy for you. On that note, I have a champion concept of my own from about a month back for a Shadow Isles initiating tank, aggressive tank, and the link to that champion concept thread, which received a lot of positive feedback, will be in the description. Thank you.